Let's talk about making money. There's one reason why some people are millionaires and others are broke. From an evolutionary standpoint, our brain rewards us for seeking pleasure. That's why so many Americans are overweight and teenagers waste their lives on TikTok. But the problem is that pleasure isn't always healthy. However, our brains can't usually tell the difference. Back when I started my journey of entrepreneurship, I was in a state of fear, anxiety, and stress. There were many days where I felt doubt, and even though I knew that I was meant for greatness, there was always this fear that lived inside of me. Fast forward to now, I've generated over $30 million by hacking my brain for success. And the crazy part is, anyone can train their brain to be successful. So if you have fear or anxiety or stress, but you also have big dreams to go after, then this is for you. So sit back, get comfortable, and prepare to listen to these 5 mindset secrets that will make you a 1% earner in your 20s. Lesson 1, be reactive, not proactive. When you're growing up, everyone is telling you to be proactive and make sure everything's perfect before taking action. For example, in school, you are taught to memorize everything before taking the test. And when you go to college, they tell you, hey, you have to learn for 4 years, get a degree before you can even apply for a job and start learning. But success works the complete opposite way. The best path for you to actually go out and make a ton of money is to take action without having everything figured out. I actually want you to be as imperfect as humanly possible, take as much action as you can, and then figure out what to do next. So instead of wasting all of this time planning and preparing and waiting for the perfect moment to get started, I want you to only focus on step 1 instead of worrying about steps 8, 9, and 10. Lesson number 2, something called the popcorn effect. When you put a bag of popcorn into the microwave, it doesn't automatically explode. You have to wait like 30 seconds, and then maybe you hear a pop, 2 pops, and then a minute later, you start to hear more and more and more pops. Then 2 minutes in, the bag is ready to explode. Now, in business and in life, there's always going to be a delayed effect between when you take an action and when you see the desired result. However, most people give up before the result happens. So you have to wait for all of the pieces to align before you actually see the results of your actions. Most people, what they do is they'll start a business, they start making progress, but then they look at their bank account and it's still empty. So then what do? They have shiny object syndrome. They go from drop shipping to SMMA, or SMMA back to drop shipping, or maybe they switch niches, and then they give up on plan number 1. But the most successful people in the world know that there's going to be a delay between when you take action and when you see a result. So wait for the bag of popcorn to pop, and I promise you, then it's going to explode. Lesson number 3, you want to earn your way to millions, not save your way to millions. Most people starting out in their teens or in their 20s, they're told that you have to save money if you want to make a lot of money. But that is the farthest thing from the truth. For example, let's say that right now, you could save an extra $10,000 a year by being extremely diligent with your money. On the flip side, if you can figure out how to 5x your income and you're making $30,000 per year, you just added an extra $120,000 to your bottom line. So instead of worrying about the Starbucks cup of coffee or saving money by eating ramen noodles, what I want you to do is take the time to think about, how can I double or triple the amount of money that I'm making? The challenge with making millions is more so in what you think about and what kind of problems you solve, and less about if you're actually able to do it. Most of you guys could take 100 hours and get really good at saving money, and it will work, but that's not the biggest problem for you to solve. A much better and bigger problem for you to solve is, how do I make way more money? So take the exact same amount of energy that you would have put into saving and put it towards figuring out how to double or triple your income. Lesson number 4, stop trying to make money. Most people, when they're just starting out in their teens or in their 20s, they're worried about getting to that $10,000 per month mark as fast as possible. But in reality, what you should be asking yourself is, how can I become a human being that can add $100,000 worth of value so that I earn the right to charge $10,000? Before you guys try to go out and make all of this money, I would challenge you to ask yourself, how can I get as much experience as humanly possible? How can I develop the skills to go out and be worth $10,000 per month? I know it's really tempting to be thinking, what is the easiest strategy? What is the best business model? What is the best niche for me to be able to go out and make 10K a month as quickly as possible? But in reality, if you actually take one step back and focus on your experience, on your skills, and on becoming the type of person that's worth 10K per month, you're going to get to 10K per month way faster. See, most of you guys are focused on the end result, on the lifestyle, on the girls, on the yachts, on the cars, on the watches. But you're not actually asking yourself, how can I be someone that adds value and earns the right to actually go out and make 10K per month. At the end of the day, you don't want to go to these businesses and take their money if you can't actually take it and make them more. You should be focused on solving that problem before you actually ask yourself, okay, how can I monetize and cash in as soon as possible? Lesson number 5, go all in. Most of you guys want the girls, the yachts, the watches, the 10K per month status, but most of you guys don't really want to do what it actually takes and sacrifice what you have to sacrifice to hit $10,000 per month and get those things. You see, most entrepreneurs are 1 foot in, 1 foot out because they do want the rewards, but they don't want the sacrifice. But in reality, success in business is only possible if there is sacrifice. You will never achieve the rewards that you're after unless you go through major amounts of pain. Yes, sometimes people get lucky and they strike gold, but most of us will have to suffer before actually getting to the desired outcome. For example, when I ran my agency, even when we were doing about $20,000 to $30,000 per month, I got so stressed out and overwhelmed that I started applying for jobs. And if you can see this email right here, this is when I applied to a job that I actually really wanted, and they rejected me. Looking back, that was one of the most powerful lessons that I ever learned on the journey to making millions, because it taught me that you have to go all in. As soon as that job rejected me, what I decided to do was burn the ships and stop applying for jobs. And I told myself, over the next 12 months, I'm going to give it all it takes. I don't care what happens. I don't care if I end up broke. I don't care if I have to go back and get a job. I don't care. All I know is that I'm going to give it my all, like my life depends on it. We'll look back in 12 months and see what happens. And from there, we went on to make our first $1 million within a year. So you have to go all in, lean into the fear, and burn the boats. So guys, if you've made it this far and you enjoyed this video, it does help us out if you hit that like button and drop a comment with your favorite lesson below. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to do so. Again, it really does help the channel. With that in mind, we'll see you on the next video.